The year is 2023 and short form videos are more popular than ever. So in this video, I want to give you my viral recipe for sports videos on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. The first thing you want to do is produce your videos in the right aspect ratio. So you either want to go fully vertical with a 9:16 ratio, or you want to go portrait size with a 4:5. In either case, if you're starting from a sequence that was already produced in 16:9, which is the landscape ratio, you don't want to just use that landscape video and zoom into it to fill that vertical space. You want to actually create a separate sequence and then resize all your clips so that they fit in the new sizing. And you also want to use keyframes to make sure that the ball or the subject anyway of your video is always in frame. Using keyframes to move from left to right all the time is actually going to create more movement in your shots and make them more dynamic and more interesting. The thing also that you absolutely don't want to do is use your horizontal video as is on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Short, because there's going to be way too much dead space on the top and bottom of your video. If you, for some reason, absolutely need to keep your video in the shape that it is, maybe because all your shots are super wide and going vertical just doesn't work, what I would do is create a vertical 9:16 sequence and then rotate all my content 90 degrees and then output my videos sideways. But before outputting, actually I would add an intro at the start, which you probably have seen before if you're on Instagram, which is basically a warning to turn your phone sideways to watch the video that's about to start. It's not ideal because it's like the first 3 seconds of your video, there's not much happening. But for me, when I started seeing that intro, it actually sort of made me curious about what was coming, and I did turn my phone and I did watch the video, and I thought it was cool to see it full screen and enjoy it sideways. And no, my phone was sideways, not the video obviously. And if you want one of those intros, these animations, I have a link in the description below where you can download one for free. By the way, this is very much so a do as I say, not as I do kind of video, because I don't really go viral that much on Instagram. Most of my content is educational. For that reason, a lot of the B-roll that you're going to see in this video is going to be Instagram Reels and TikToks and YouTube Shorts as well from other sports videographers that I believe are extremely good at it. So if you end up in my video, shout out to you. I'm a fan, and color me impressed. Speaking of sports videographers that I'm impressed with, I was watching a Peter Sorellis video the other day, and he was talking about how, yes, our videos are getting shorter and shorter, but the great thing about it is that now you've got all the time that you used to spend on a 3-minute, a 5-minute video, you can spend that same amount of time on a 30 or 45 seconds, which allows you to go way deeper than you've ever gone before.
People want to deliver their message in a faster amount of time, but what that frees you up to do as a video editor is spend the same amount of time on a shorter video and make it more interesting, add more complex effects. And I think that's a really good opportunity for you as a video editor to really show off your skills and make something that's super engaging. You can say what you want about attention spans getting shorter and videos getting shorter, but the fact that it kind of gives you the opportunity to show your skills off a little bit more, I think that's really cool, and it's something that I'm personally going to be looking to take advantage of.
If you've never really had the time in the past to do any color grading on your long form videos, now you definitely have more than enough time to play not only with LUTs, but also with color correction tools and various overlays to create your own looks and styles. You can also make your clips more dynamic by adding controlled camera shakes and camera zooms in post, because there's nothing more boring than a shot completely static. You can also use masking to create amazing transitions. The idea is to make the viewers wonder where the first clip ends and the next one starts, which you can also achieve through movement, by the way, either in camera or in post. But don't forget the audio side of things. In your long form videos, you probably kept things pretty simple with mostly music and a few sound effects here and there. But in short form, it's good to add sound effects for almost everything we see, and even some of the things we don't see. It's also very effective to become somewhat of a music producer and customize your music tracks a little. For example, you can use stems to single out a particular instrument, or you can apply a low-pass audio effect when things are moving in slow motion to really embrace the feeling of time slowing down. By the way, for all the editing tricks I've been talking about for the last minute or so, there is a specific tutorial explaining how to do each one of them on my channel. So make sure you subscribe, first of all, if you haven't already, but more so, check out my playlist dedicated to sports video editing, and you'll find everything you need. Also, if you go in the description of this video, you'll find a bunch of links that will help you achieve all these tricks much faster. For example, there's a link to my LUT pack, which will help you with your color grade. There's one to my sound effects pack, which will help you with your sound design. There's also a link to Motion Array, where you can find a bunch of camera shake and zoom presets. And the final link that I recommend is an After Effects beginner's course made by NFL motion graphic editor CM De La Vega. Otherwise, besides editing, I want to talk also about the filming a little bit. A lot of people wonder if it's really necessary to have high quality footage in your short form content. And I don't believe that it's necessary, but it definitely helps. You can grab attention in many other ways. So if you don't have the money to buy the cameras that allow you to do the perfect look that you're after, there's other ways to grab people's attention. Keep in mind that creativity should always be the main thing that you're focused on. It's always going to be the main reason why your videos go viral. So I would suggest, a bit like what we were saying earlier, what Peter was saying, it's by going from, let's say, 3-minute videos to 45-second videos. Now we have more time to dedicate to being creative. Then same rules apply within the short form range of durations. You're much better to do a 20-second video that's extremely creative, extremely well done, than to try to extend it to 45, 60 seconds. Keep it short. Keep it as long as it needs to be creative the entire way through. Also, keep learning and keep trying new things. Don't just stay comfortable with the things that you're really good at right now, because these things are going to get old really quick, especially in the short form format. So for example, if you really want to separate yourself from the crowd right now, consider learning platforms like Blender and Cinema 4D, which will really take your videos to the top tier of creativity. By the way, I know I said a few times now that creativity is the main thing, but shareability is a huge factor as well in the video's ability to go viral. For example, on my Instagram profile, I have a bunch of reels that feature NBA players and even Drake. But my most viewed video by far is a reel I made about my 15-year-old nephew, and that's mainly because of shareability. A lot of people will watch my NBA or Drake videos, but they won't necessarily share them. But when I posted a video about my nephew, all his friends, all his teammates, and his entire school started sharing it like crazy, because they felt represented in a great video that was showing off one of their own. So make sure you produce shareable content and tag all the relevant players, teams, and organizations so that they can get the ball rolling by sharing it with their followers. And lastly, there's no point in knowing how to edit short form content if you don't know how to shoot it. So make sure to watch the video on your screen right now to get started the right way.